Hey everyone, it's Kazlo, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for the next segment of my RPG Club playthrough of Trails in the Sky, first chapter. But what is the RPG Club? I've been an avid listener of the podcast The RPG Years, and its predecessor podcast, The RPG Golden Years, and The RPG After Years. The podcast focuses on RPG reviews and news. They regularly do a community event known as the RPG Club. Imagine a book club, but for RPGs. They break up a community-chosen RPG into digestible chunks, usually about 5 hours, and discuss those segments every 2 weeks like a book club. If you want to check out the RPG Years, you can find a link in the description below. The chapter opens with Agat still pursuing the mercenaries he had been tracking earlier. He finally catches up to them and defeats their group, only to be confronted by their captain, a powerful fighter enough to match him. The captain escapes using a shadowcraft, and leaves a gate with a parting message. Abandon his anger and sorrow if he wishes to become a true demon. The narrative shifts to Joshua and Estelle as they prepare to leave Rouen for Zeus. Before departing, they meet Chloe to say goodbye. Instead, she offers to escort them to the Airleton checkpoint. When they arrive, Chloe promises to see them again at the Queen's birthday celebration in Grancel. After Joshua and Estelle pass through the gate, Julia of the Royal Guard appears and quietly joins Chloe in secret planning. From Airleton, Joshua and Estelle cross through the long Chaldea tunnel. There they meet Tita Russell, who is out repairing orbital lights. After rescuing her from monsters, she guides them to Zeus before parting ways. Joshua and Estelle quickly go to the Zeus branch to transfer their affiliation and meet the clerk of the branch, Kilika. Kilika writes the duo a letter of introduction to meet with the head of the Zeus Central Factory, Murdoch. Murdoch examines the Black Orbment, declares it's beyond his understanding, and notes that the letter's initial, R, must refer to Albert Russell, the genius behind the Orbital Revolution. He summons Tita to bring Estelle and Joshua to her grandfather. Tita takes them home, where Professor Russell immediately ropes the three of them into his experiment. After clearing up the confusion, they begin scanning the Black Orbment, but the device suddenly activates, triggering a citywide blackout. The group gathers for breakfast the next morning to discuss the incident, and Professor Russell names it the Orbital Shutdown Phenomenon. Tita joins her grandfather at the Central Factory to attempt opening the Orbment. During their efforts, Murdoch bursts in and reports a mechanical failure at Elmo Village, a broken pump that needs immediate repair. Tita insists that she can fix it, so Estelle and Joshua escort her to the village. In Elmo, Tita tackles the pump repair on her own, while Estelle and Joshua agree to search for a missing visitor to the village. They find Dorothy, the photographer, trapped by monsters and rescue her. They return to Elmo to find the pump fully repaired. As thanks, Mrs. Mao offers them lodging and access to the hot springs. Inside the baths, Tita innocently asks Estelle whether she and Joshua are married, since they share the same last name. Mortified, Estelle escapes to the outdoor bath, only to run into Joshua in an awkward encounter. Tita later joins them, and after a surprisingly heartfelt moment, Estelle and Joshua agree to become her honorary older siblings. The next morning, the group prepares to return to Zeus, with Dorothy tagging along. When they arrive, smoke pours from the Central Factory, and they learn that Professor Russell is still inside. Agat appears and joins the search, leading them to witness the professor's abduction by the same mercenaries from before. After the mercenaries vanish, Professor Alba provides them a lead. He saw suspicious figures near the Crimson Tower. Tita begs to join the search, but Agat refuses, fearing for her safety. Estelle, Joshua, and Agat scale the tower and battle the mercenaries, but during the attempt to save Professor Russell, Tita appears anyway. Agat throws himself in front of a bullet to protect her. The mercenaries escape with the professor, and a furious Agat slaps Tita, blaming her for the failure. On the way back to Zeus, the group encounters a fellow bracer, Zen. Moments later, Agat collapses, poisoned from the bullet he took. They rush him to town, where they learn that only Sir Murian moss can counteract the toxin. Zen joins the mission, and together they secure the moss from the limestone cave after defeating a horde of penguins. The next day, Kilika reports that the Royal Army has dropped its investigation into the professor's kidnapping. Dorothy then shows the group a photograph of an airship, one that resembles the craft used in the kidnapping, flying near Leaston Fortress. The group travels to Leaston for a covert inquiry and meets Major Sid, commander of the fortress. After learning that Estelle and Joshua are Cassius Bright's children, Sid admits that the kidnappers may have slipped by and headed toward the border checkpoint. He takes the photo as evidence and orders the fortress gate shut, but due to a mechanical failure, the gate remains open. Embarrassed, Sid apologizes and sends them on their way. Piecing the clues together, Estelle, Joshua, Agat, and Tita determine that Professor Russell must be inside the fortress. The Bracer Guild and Central Factory collaborate on a plan to smuggle them in with a supply shipment. To bypass the fortress sensors, Tita proposes using a device her grandfather invented to block biosignatures. After convincing Agat to let her help, The group squeezes into a shipping container and heads for the fortress. Meanwhile, Dorothy arrives too late with alarming news. The Royal Army in Gransel has been arrested for treason. Once inside Leaston, the team sneaks into the research wing and spy on Colonel Richard, who thanks Professor Russell for helping him decipher the Black Orbment, now identified as the Gospel. Richard, Amalthea, and the mercenary leader depart by airship, leaving Professor Russell behind in Major Sid's custody. After they leave, the group incapacitates the guards and frees the professor. While searching for an escape route, they encounter the Capula family imprisoned in the lower levels. Continuing through the fortress, they run into Major Sid once more. This time, Sid admits he regrets his compliance with Richard's orders, yet believed Estelle and Joshua, because of their relation to Cassius, would ultimately succeed. He provides an escape chute that leads to a hidden sewage passage. Outside, Agat decides to spirit Tita and Professor Russell away to safety. He directs Joshua and Estelle to head for Gransel, seek an audience with the Queen, and uncover Colonel Richard's plans. And that's it for this segment of Trails in the Sky, first chapter. Well, the plot finally thickens. We finally get the reveal that Colonel Richard is planning some sort of coup, and it involves the artifact we've been traveling with for a couple of chapters. But what exactly is he planning to do with this new gospel of his? Despite the large plot developments of the chapter, we also got a lot of great character development. For instance, we get to meet everyone's favorite little sister, Tita Russell. While she brings a little ball of joy to the party, she also serves as a great foil to the tough exterior of Agat. Without her, we likely wouldn't discover that all of Agat's big talk is just cover for his desire to keep people from getting hurt. I also forgot we meet Zen in this chapter, and that he played a bigger role than I remember. Everything I recall about Zen comes from his role in the coming chapter. Finally, it's interesting that we get a chapter that doesn't end with a real boss fight, and also ends without Joshua and Estelle getting their letter of recommendation from the local branch. It's nice to subvert expectations every once in a while. But it's on to Gransel to meet with the Queen. Surely nothing will go wrong. So that's it for this segment of the RPG Club. If you want to follow along with the club, be sure to hit that subscribe button to see new videos when they're posted. Additionally, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I have links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description below. See you all next time.